My name is Megan Phillips, and I'm going to do my persuasion speech on drinking and driving. I'm going to start off my speech with two short stories about families that were affected by drinking and driving. The first one is about two girls this past May who were high school seniors, and they were traveling back from the beach. They were both just a short few weeks from graduation, and prom was just around the corner. Both girls had plans to attend college in the fall of 2017. Their lives changed instantly when they were hit by a drunk driver. One of the girls, she was the driver of the car, she died instantly. The other girl suffered severe neurological damage. Just about a month ago, she just got back from the hospital, and the accident happened in May. The girl who suffered the neurological damage started at the Level 1 Trauma Center in Norfolk, and then she went to Georgia to to a hospital that specializes in neurological conditions. The bright futures these girls held were taken away in just a few seconds because of an irresponsible action of an individual. Another story is about a family who was traveling home on Christmas Eve from having Christmas Eve dinner with a family. It happened around 11:30 that night, and the whole entire family was ruined, basically. So this happened in 2015, and it was just a typical family, husband, wife, 3 children. They were coming home from holiday celebrations. They were only about 5 miles away from their house when their whole life changed. A drunk driver hit them, clipped their car, flipped the car over. This was on a bridge. And the dad who was driving, he died instantly. The older brother, he was airlifted to the Level 1 Trauma Center. He suffered neurological damage, and just like the other story, stayed at the Level 1 Trauma Center for a little while, and then went to the hospital in Georgia to help with his condition. The mother, because she was in the passenger seat, the airbag hit her in the abdominal area, so she went into emergency surgery the night of the accident. The youngest daughter, her leg, she was an athlete, and her leg was totally messed up. Still today, she'll be walking with a limp for the rest of her life. The middle brother, he lucked out of all of them. He had a couple bruises and scrapes, but the whole family, it went from this perfect family to a family with they will never think of Christmas the same way anymore. The drunk driver who hit them was not hurt at all, and the family was broken apart just because he wanted to break the law. So after hearing these two stories, I want to just introduce some statistics about drinking and driving. 28 people a day in the U.S. die from a car accident related to alcohol consumption. That's one person every 51 minutes and over 10,000 people a year. So next thing I want to talk about is, what does alcohol really do to your brain? So the definition of alcohol would be a substance that's going to reduce the function of your brain by impairing thinking, reasoning, and muscle coordination. So basically, the more you drink, the more your central nervous system will be affected. Your alcohol level is measured by a BAC, which is your blood alcohol concentration, and it's illegal to drive with a 0.08 or grams per deciliter blood alcohol concentration or higher. However, even if you just drink 1 beer or a half a beer, it's not smart to drive at all, because there's statistics showing in 2015, a little over 1,800 people died just because of somebody who had a blood alcohol concentration level of less than 0.08 grams per deciliter. So how are you affected by your BAC, or your blood alcohol concentration? So at a 0.02 grams per deciliter, you lose judgment. At 0.08 grams per deciliter, you lose that muscle coordination or lack of concentration, speed control. You don't realize you're going a certain speed. That's why a lot of times in drinking and driving accidents, speed is associated with that. And at 0.15 grams per deciliter, you lose even more muscle coordination. That is when you start to throw up when you're drinking, or you have a huge loss of vehicle control. Consequences of drinking and driving would be jail time, fines, loss of driver's license for up to a year. You might have to attend a safety or alcohol safety action class. There's research showing that for alcoholics, in order for their car to start, they have to do a breathalyzer test that's connected to their engine. So if it's under 0.02, then the engine will start. If you drive drunk with kids in the car, that's an extra 5 days in jail. If you're driving and you kill somebody, that could be involuntary manslaughter, and that would be up to 20 years. So ways to prevent drinking and driving, utilizing a person who's sober to drive you home. Make sure you have that lined up before you go out and drink. Utilize Uber, Lyft. There's so many different options. Just making sure that you have a ride home. If you're hosting a party, make sure your guests have a driver who is sober, and make sure that they're not take their keys away if they're going to get into a car and drive. Some school programs that inform students of drinking and driving is known as the Every 15 Minutes program. My school, when I was a junior in high school, they did this program, and it was a great learning experience. They basically simulate what a drinking and driving accident looks like. So, for example, they start out with the football field, and they have two cars that have obviously crashed, and they have people from the student body who are in the accident, and they do it as real as one of the people dies instantly, another one is critically injured and has the nightingale come and takes that person to the hospital. They have ambulances, police officers, everything that would be in this type of accident was there. Then they even go even farther to have have film or video of the students going to the hospital, and then the person who was drinking and driving. They have she went to the court, and they have that all on tape. And then the next day, they took all of that film and they put it into a presentation, and that presentation was shown to the whole student body to give them a great illustration of what really happens and why it's not worth one night of partying or not of drinking and driving, where it can impact so many different lives. An organization that promotes not drinking and driving would be MAD, Mothers Against Drinking and Driving. This, according to their website, the organization was started in 1980, and when a girl, Kari Leitner, was killed by a drunk driver. She and her friend, they were walking home from a carnival, and they were hit by a drunk driver, and her mom made this organization to help minimize the amount of accidents because of drinking and driving. As of 2015, again on the website, it said that MAD has helped save over 330,000 lives, and the new tagline is "No More Victims." So I just want to conclude, and drinking and driving can easily be prevented. Do not go behind the wheel if you have been drinking, because you can potentially kill many innocent people because of a selfish act. Again, my name is Megan Phillips, and my persuasive speech was about drinking and driving. Thank you for listening.